Hi everyone, Jason Tan and Matt Cross here to preview, Jason, what could be the biggest lead-up day to Derby Day?
I think so. In terms of the Avondale Guineas, there's no doubt that it is the key form reference because of the fact that it's 2 weeks away from the Derby. So, you know, every runner that's thinking about the Derby has to get that one run as a general rule into them, hoping they get used to the Ellerslie track and giving a hint that they might be able to stay.
1200 metres is the trip for the first. Super Fence sponsor race number one. Dead 5 track conditions, Jason?
It'll come back. There's plenty of sun and heat in the sun in Auckland, so Ellerslie track manager Jason Fulford obviously being very keen to water the track with a view to it be a dead 4 in the morning of, and it'll probably race pretty much as good. So it'll be ideal. She's a Thief's the horse that I've gone for in the first race, Matthew, $4.80. I went for She's a Thief on an each-way basis. She's just an each-way price there, but I think she's getting close to winning another race.
Okay, let's turn over to race number 2, Jason, with She's a Thief there in the first. Papatoetoe Glass 1200 is the second on the program. This one here will be the second leg of the early quaddie. $5 there for Tattle. Decent winner first up and comes up with a barrier draw that they could probably be a little positive from. Yeah,
should be able to sit a pair or two closer than is sometimes the case. The Fame Game, the horse that I like, think the Fame Game's been in super form. Just has a sticky barrier draw for Jason Waddell to overcome. Again, I've gone each way, but that 420s, it's probably not an each way price. If you were, then it'd be sort of a 1x2, but otherwise just back it to win. I like his chances, the Fame Game.
Okay, we go up to 1500 metres for the third race on the card with the Wireless Rentals. If in doubt, $5. Acutus or Acutus, $4.50. Repose a repeater at the same price, and William Tell off Barry number 1 there is at $5. Is it that quartet that should be fighting this out, Jason?
I think so. I've got Acutus on top. I like the fact that the blinkers are going to be fitted tomorrow for the horse. Hasn't had all favours. Again, doesn't have a great barrier draw, but I think with a positive enough ride can find a spot close enough to the speed and be very hard to beat. So Acutus for me.
Okay, Jason, with Acutus on the each way there, race number 3. Over to the fourth we run now to the Stella Artois. 1600 Sapper Pack up the top of the book. The winner of just one from 21, but still finds itself at a 70 rating, $9 and $2.90 its price. $3.40 for Tightline, Sandrine $5.50, and Rubera up to 1600 on the back up from last week, $8.
You know, if you're having a place play in the race, Sapper Pack is a very good place price. It's been very frustrating if you've been backing the horse on a win line, but $2.90 for the place is good. That said, Tightline to me is one of the better bets on the program. On the quick backup, didn't really have much luck at Te Rapa last start, probably should have won and really abbreviated the margin to the line. I think the horse has got a fair bit of upside about him. He's had a few issues, obviously, that's why we haven't seen more of him in the last 18 months or so, but Tightline should be winning for Stephen Marsh.
Yeah, just start number 7 and has the aid of Matthew Cameron looking for win number 3. Race number 5 we head to now at Ellerslie. We are previewing the 5th on the card with Everloyal, $2.30, a slight change in price, albeit a couple of scratchings as well, Jason.
Well drawn Everloyal, so you'd expect Michael McNabb to be able to put him in the first 4 in the running. With any luck in the straight, I suggest that Everloyal will just win. The last 200 metres, the last start at Ellerslie was outstanding behind a Drossen, so he's my best of the weekend, Everloyal. And look, 230 is getting short enough, but if there's any improvement, if he cops that back up after being off the scene for a little while, like the stable says that he should because he's happy and well, then I think he should win this easily.
Could well be the race to really ramp our Saturday up and get us in the mood for the latter part of the card out of Ellerslie, as well as our Australian racing as we get to the 6th at Ellerslie. It's the Avondale Guineas this year with Schweppes, $3.20, Cut a Deal, $3.90, Surely Sacred, Vernon Me at $9.
Not the most straightforward race because of the map primarily, as discussed on the first call, that you'll be able to watch in its entirety on the Punters Lounge as you're watching this right now. But Vernon Me's, I think, a pretty good price. Surely Sacred's a horse that I really like, and I'm hoping that it'll get a position in the first half of the race. If it can get that nice little track or the split at the right time, he's got one of the better turns of foot there. I didn't have much between it and Cut a Deal, so by virtue of him being a slightly better price with bookmakers, I've gone with Surely Sacred. I think those two are clearly on top. Vernamy will be an improver over ground. We've got Botti that returns to New Zealand, having started his career racing here, but now trained by Chris Waller. But Surely Sacred's the win bet.
Okay, looking forward to that. The 6th, over to race number 7. The trio of feature races out of Ellerslie continues with the Coca-Cola Avondale Cup. Mongolia Marshall, $3. Glory Days, $5.50. Thad Taylor saying to us, Jason, that 5 to midnight running for the bookmakers again at $5.50.
I can't say that I have a massive amount of confidence in any one runner in this race, except to say that Glory Days, Mongolian Marshall, 5 to midnight, those are the 3 horses that are clearly hardest to beat. So no knock on how the bookmakers have priced those runners up. 5 to midnight's been so brave. Mongolian Marshall has been there, and I know there are plenty who've backed him to win that would have loved to have seen him win more than he has, but he's going to be there again, even though he's not as kindly drawn as he has been the last 3 races. And Doyers, a small share in him. I think he can turn his form around. Nothing went right in the City of Auckland Cup last start. He's worked really well. Blinkers added to his gear. So I'm having an each-way bet on him. I couldn't, with conscience, back the horse and not say that I haven't backed the horse. I've backed the horse. It might be blind faith and sort of a small ownership that's driving me to that. But I think from that draw, he'll be in a good spot. He'll run a decent race for you.
Okay, good luck on both fronts with him and Doyers. Be a cracking race to win. Race number 8 we turn to at Ellerslie. The Auckland Co-op Taxis, 2100 and Nobu. Chris Waller, Opie, Bosson. There's a combination that would put a red light on.
Oh, massive. Only problem is the draw. Obviously that comes in when runners come out, but it's still going to start from the outside barrier, Nobu. So it's going to take the brilliance of Opie and a little bit of trust that he's probably better than his opposition. And I think if you're running a really good race in benchmark 78 in Sydney, you're going to be winning a rating 72 here in New Zealand. So he's probably going to have to give most of them a start from that. But if he starts rolling at the 800 or 900 and Opie knows when to go, he knows the best time to go around Ellerslie and any track in New Zealand really, apart from maybe Hokitika. But Nobu's the win bet.
Okay, Nobu there in race number 8, even from the barrier draw.
I doubt he's ever
I wonder if he
ridden
has written. He might have back in the day. Anyway, race number 9 we're up to at Ellerslie. Jason Tarn, Matt Cross here with you on the Punters Lounge.
That's it, no more races.
No, we're all done.
That's it,
race 8. Race number 9.
No, 9.
We're looking for race 9. There is no race 9. That'll do. We better leave it there. Nobu in the last. Best of the day for you?
No overtime. Ever loyal.
See how much I was enjoying that? I wanted to just keep going with our
13
preview.
races, 14 races.
Good luck to you with Andoyers on the punt and as an owner. And
Thanks,
to you
mate.
at home, thanks for joining us. There's only 8 races at Ellerslie on Saturday. Enjoy the lot.